Anyway, I have to head to the pool. I ran off to the second floor as fast as I could. Oh, everyone's over there. Whee! Kyoko! And...
I mean...
Phew, man, I have had the worst day. Hiro?
I am positive that is the suspicious individual that attacked me.
Apparently that ridiculous object is Hiro. I'd ask Kyoko for the details if I were you.
Robo Justice finally made his appearance, huh? I guess Kyoko's the one that found him.
I found Hiro. He was jammed into the pool room locker. It looked like he was fast asleep, so I kicked him and woke him up. I still can't believe you kicked me! You could have been a little more gentle about it, like, I don't know, caress my face or something.
What?
That's creepy. Anyway, Kyoko, where have you been all this time? You just disappeared all of a sudden without a trace.
Wow.
There was something I had to check up on. What do you mean? Never mind. I can't never mind. Never mind. More importantly, she says that, but does she have any idea? Oh, they're arguing again. Wasn't Hina meant to be guarding the bodies with Sakura? Yeah, she was. I don't know what happened, but she was supposed to be doing that. Does she know people think she might be spying for the mastermind?
And?
First of all, Hiro, you need to explain to us why you're dressed like that. Oh, I have no idea. 1 second I was asleep. Don't even know how that happened. Then I woke up, and then I was here. I don't care. Do something about the costume. It pains me to just to look at you, sorry. Huh? Well,
Let me out of here!
I don't know what's up with this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help?
Why would you make something that you can't take off by yourself?
I didn't make this stupid friggin' thing. There's a clasp on the back that's keeping you from getting it off. It looks pretty sturdy. I don't think you can get it off on your own. We don't really have a choice. Let's help him. It took everyone's help, but slowly we were able to get Hiro out of the suit. It took a few minutes, but eventually we got all the pieces off. Phew! Free at last!
Isn't it kind of weird how perfectly the suit fits Hiro? More to the point, nobody but Hiro would be able to wear that costume.
Wait, what? Hold on a sec.
Don't bother trying to act innocent. The blueprints were in your room as well. In other words, it is obvious to everyone that you made this costume.
That's true. I saw the blueprints myself. Yeah, me too.
Then it's obvious. The one who put this costume on and went around attacking everyone.
That's terrible.
Was Hiro. Shall we tie him up and gag him? Good idea. We wouldn't want him killing anyone else.
Tie me up? Hold on, guys. I think it's going a little far. He may be a suspect, but he deserves fair treatment. Yeah, I mean... Attacking? Blueprints? I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
You can't talk your way out of this. It's been decided. You killed them.
What? Killed who? I have no idea what you're talking about. There must be a fake hero running around.
You're the only one who can wear this costume. So who else could possibly be the costumed attacker?
How do you know I'm the only one? Maybe you should try it on for yourself before you convict me.
Fine! If you're gonna be a jerk about it, I will!
Without missing a bit, Hina started putting on the Robo Justice costume.
Huh! See? Look! See how loose it is? I mean, come on. I'm blind as a bat in here. Can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in this thing.
I'm telling you, it wasn't me!
And not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
That's not a very nice thing to say. I mean, it's not like I made it. I just got caught up in the moment.
Well, either way, now we know for sure, right? I mean, it seems pretty clear that nobody but Hiro could have fit into this dumb costume.
In a huff, Hina took the suit back off again.
Well, now you're all out of excuses.
No, see, it's because you're a girl. If it was another guy, then... Makoto, go ahead. Okay. Against my will, I picked up the pieces off the floor and tried putting them on. It's no good. The arms are too long. There's no way I can wear this.
Just see, I told you it was impossible. You are absolutely right. It seems this costume was made to fit Hiro's body exactly.
But
Then there's another costume. They must have one that looks the same, but fits them.
If you insist on this line of defense, then show us some evidence.
what the
Evidence?
heck?
You claim there is another suit, yes? Then you must find it and show it to us.
What the heck?
Who cares? Hiro's the only one without an alibi during this whole thing anyway.
That's
Which is how we know it was him.
I mean,
What?
is that really true? I have no idea what's been happening. Could someone, like, tell me?
heck?
If you don't tell me what's going on, how am I supposed to understand? I think I figured out that someone's been killed, right? Hey, Makoto, who was it? Well, 2 people were killed. Taka and Hifumi. What? 2 people?
Just
Why are you freaking out? You did it!
I did not! Wait, hold on. If those 2 were the ones that were killed,
How
that's
about
it!
that?
I know who did it!
So
You may as well tell us then.
Taka and Hifumi were fighting over Alter Ego, right?
I'm at least
Which means
30% right.
Alter Ego and Chihiro must have done it.
I
Correct.
see. That's unfortunate.
Huh?
Please.
Unfortunate.
Stop trying to trick us. Just admit that you did it, okay?
I'm telling you, you got it all wrong. Oh, I know.
So
That
then.
note. Note? Last night, someone slipped a weird note under my door. And here's what it said. I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m. But the last thing I remember is going to the rec room, then for some reason I fell asleep. The real
Hey.
killer probably drugged me or something.
Just the
Not a
worst.
chance.
So-
No, hold on. He could be onto something. The nurse's office did have chemicals that could do that.
Huh?
Really?
I told you, someone's trying to set me up. A secret passage, a chance to escape. Someone wrote all that to trick me.
Even if that's true, you must be one dumb fish to bite every piece of bait that floats in front of you.
Well, after being trapped here so long, even if you know it's a lie, you still gotta check, right? Gaho? They preyed on my desire to get out of here. They deceived me.
I still don't buy it.
Don't
Well,
be
you should
mean.
buy it.
Just a
Okay, then
second.
show us that note.
With pleasure. I have it right here in my, pocket.
No
Looks
way.
like I lost it.
Yeah, sure.
Please, you gotta believe me. I wouldn't hurt a fly.
As I said before, if you want us to believe you, you must produce evidence. Can you show us the note? I have no particular issue with what you claim, but if you want us to believe you, give us a reason.
What the heck? For serious? Now then, shall we resume our investigation? There's no time to waste before the class trial begins.
Why do we need to keep investigating? We already know who did it. Why? Why did you kill them? Tell us, Hiro.
No, it's like I said.
Was it really to get the money Monokuma offered us? Yeah, that must be it. You must be totally broke, and that's why.
Wait, that's a false accusation. Someone help me.
Just be thankful we haven't bound and gagged you.
If you have time to yell and carry on, you have time to search for your evidence, right? Ah, you're right. I need to look for the second suit in that note. Feet, don't fail me now.
I guess I'd better get back to guard duty. I was gonna ask Genocide Jack to switch with me. But if she and Sakura get into a fight, we'd have a catastrophe on our hands. Well, bye.
One by one, everyone peeled away.
Makoto.
Makoto, do you have a second?
Huh?
I want you to help me with the investigation. It
would
looks like I got a
seem-
late start on this one, so I need to make up some ground.
Sure, I don't mind helping, but can you promise me something? Later, when we have time, will you tell me why you disappeared?
Why
No.
is that?
To reject me so simply.
Anyway, I need your help. You don't mind, do you?
Okay.
Thanks.
Shall we go?
Now then, shall we?
Hey,
So, Makoto, first I'd like to examine the corpses.
Examine the corpses. I can't believe I'm hearing that from a girl the same age as me.
Dead
Correct.
bodies don't lie, you know. They tell the truth far more easily than the living.
Wouldn't
Hey.
you agree? How am I supposed to answer?
Anyway,
We have to hurry before the class trial begins again. Yeah, you're right. Okay, then show me where the bodies are. They're in the repository. Then I guess we should head that way for now. I read that as pool Nike and I got really confused. I was like, Nike's a pool? So much has been happening, I forgot to save again. Hifumi and Taka. For a moment, Kyoko seemed to go rigid. But only for a moment. Well then, let's get started.
Pool. Pool Nike.
She crouched down next to Taka and without hesitation began poking and prodding the bodies.
I
The
knew
Monokuma
it.
file was right. They were killed using similar weapons. Her movements were so smooth. She was so calm. Seeing how comfortable she was actually made me feel a little more comfortable. Makoto, I found something. You did?
Hey.
You remember the wristwatch Taka always wore on his left hand? He did? Are you so oblivious to the people around you? Do you dislike other people that much? No, that's not it. Anyway, so you said he had a watch? Take a
So
look.
then,
It's broken. You can see the hands aren't moving, right? It most likely broke when he had his encounter with his assailant. And if you notice, the hands are frozen at just past 6 o'clock. So that would mean the watch was broken sometime just after 6?
that's right.
But last night, Taka's watch definitely wasn't broken. Hey, you! How long are you gonna keep us waiting? Taka's irritated voice pierced the air as he stared pointedly at his wristwatch. It's almost 10 o'clock, you know that? Bedtime for all the little boys and girls.
In other
So
words,
if it worked at 10 last night, it couldn't have been broken at 6 p.m. Meaning it must have happened at 6 this morning.
however,
And that's not all. Look at Taka's left hand. He appears to be gripping something. You're right. There's something white in there. Can you
Makoto.
try and pry it open? Can you try and pry it out? Me? Rigor
because-
mortis has already set in. Boys are better suited to this kind of manual labor, right? Okay. As much as I didn't want to, I grasped Taka's cold hand. The ice-cold hand was nearly enough to cause my heart to stop beating. After some effort, I was finally able to free the object from his tightly clenched fist. A piece of paper? Was
Hey.
that all he had in his hand? Yeah, that's it. Just a little scrap of paper. Doesn't seem like much of a clue, does it?
Is
I
that
wonder
right?
about that. Kyoko then turned to Hifumi's body. Let's
So
check
then-
Hifumi's body now. Perhaps he's left us a few clues of his own.
Hey, Cauldron. Welcome, welcome.
The biggest problem I have right now is how the killer was able to move Hifumi's massive corpse. From the nurse's office... I read that already. Further, it seems that Hifumi died from a blow to the head. He was most likely killed using Justice Hammer 3, which we found in the nurse's office. But... when we found his body in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered in blood. But now they're spotless. Does that mean someone wiped his glasses clean? But why would they do that? Sorry, who would do that and why? Oh, I guess I gotta talk to her again. So, did you find anything? I
Indeed.
did. More than I expected, to be honest. Look at this. A wad of paper?
That's
Hifumi
right.
had it hidden on him. Hidden? He had
Indeed.
stuffed it in his pants, so I can only assume he'd hidden it on purpose, you see. In his pants? Wait, so you...
Why
it was
is
just
that?
his pants, not like his socks or something. I don't know what that means. Anyway,
Hey.
let's take a look at the paper. Go ahead, Makoto. Open it up. When I think of how it was stuffed down his pants, it's like... It better be important, Hifumi, or I'll never forgive you for this. A note? I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m. That
So-
sounds very familiar. That's it! It's the same thing Hiro said! Then he was telling us the truth! Although it's
However-
not exactly the same, is it? Last night, someone slipped a weird note under my door. And here's what it said. I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m. Not like I looked through his socks. The time is different. Hiro told us that his note said to meet at 1 a.m. But the note they wrote to Hifumi asked him to meet at 6 a.m.
Is
Hold
that
on.
right?
Just because Hifumi had the note doesn't mean it was meant for him. Huh? Part of it has been
So-
torn off, right? I think there's likely some meaning there. There's some meaning to part of it being ripped? Could you maybe explain it a little more? Think carefully.
Hey,
Why would he have been clutching that scrap of paper so tightly? I have no idea. What if it
Soda.
wasn't just a scrap of paper when he was holding it? What if it was something more important? And how would something important like that become a mere scrap of paper? That's what you need to answer. And
Hey.
while we're at it, I should tell you one other thing. The two victims this time definitely had their e-handbooks on them. So the handbooks have nothing to do with how the murders were carried out. Not that there was any reason to think they were connected to the killing in the first place. So you're saying I don't have to think about the handbooks this time, right?
is
If you
that
didn't have to think about them at all, I wouldn't have gone out of my way to mention it. All I said was that they weren't used to help carry out the murders. There may come a point, however, where a handbook may play a role. A handbook may play a role? I don't think I understand. But if Kyoko thinks it's important, I'd better keep it in mind.
I can rest?
Are you excited? Are you pumped? It's time for the class trial to begin!
I am excited.
Like the bright burst of fireworks, like the flash of a soul clashing with life and death. And so, with no further ado, everyone please meet at the usual spot. Make your way to the red door on the first floor of the
Red
school.
door, first floor.
See you soon.
It
It's
would
unfortunate,
seem-
but I suppose this is where our investigation comes to an end. You'll have to figure out the rest for yourself, and come to the proper conclusion. Yeah, you're right. Well,
Shall we go?
we'd better get going. Okay. Well, I mean, I have been reading this. I've been voice acting since 1 o'clock. It's now 5 o'clock. But, I still get to read Naegi's voice, and then the parts after the trial aren't voiced as well, so you still get to hear some of it. Room! Everyone had heard Monokuma's proclamation, and they were gathered by the red door.
I guess that's true.
And as soon as we were all there... Whoa!
Monokuma up
Hello! Hello! Hello!
He's multiplied?
Wrong.
Nope, not multiplication. It just looks that way because of an illusion. I'm moving so fast it only looks like I've multiplied. Can you guys tell? Which one is the real Monokuma?
Can we just get on the elevator already?
You're not playing along! Along!
We're not here to play with you.
Okay, fine.
Hey,
Then if everyone's here and ready to go, please board the pain train, elevator. I'll see you guys down there.
Let's
Okay
go.
then, shall we? Hold on, I'm not mentally prepared yet.
You'll never be mentally prepared. You can't run away anymore, Hero. You're gonna pay for your sins.
I told you already, I didn't do it! For serious!
That reminds me. Did you ever find the other costume? Or the note?
Well, no, but...
How unfortunate. Then it would seem we have our culprit.
This
Hey.
isn't the place to talk about it. Oops, kind of the wrong voice. Save your accusations for when we get to the courtroom.
That's
She's right. Let's get down there first, then the story can really begin. Yeah, good idea. That's right. I have to do it. I can't let whoever killed Hifumi and Taka get away with it. For everyone who's still alive. And for the 2 that lost their lives. The one who killed Hifumi and Taka. The one who killed 2 of our friends. The killer is... someone right here.
Damn.
I don't like Monokuma's carefree attitude.
Just the worst.
Let's hurry up and go so we can make Hiro pay for his crimes.
Were you listening? Wait till we get to the courtroom to begin your arguing.
It would appear the culprit has been confirmed. This trial will be over in no time.
Yes.
Come on, Big Mac, let's do it!
Big Mac. It wasn't me! You gotta believe me!
Hey,
The story begins when we get down there. Look how small our group has become. It's crazy. I took one last deep breath and exhaled slowly. I began to walk toward the elevator. Once everyone was aboard.
Aw, sorry, I know. I'm having a weird time with his voice today, so that's why.
The doors closed on their own, and the steel box began to move. Wow, so empty. The clunking of the elevator kept us company as we fell further and further down. There was no going back. Until we settled all this, we couldn't go anywhere. I'm not sure how long it was before the elevator finally came to a stop. The elevator doors slid open, opening up onto a cruel fate.
Aw, thank you. When I see you all gathered together like this, I realize just how few of you there are left. Your school life is slowly reaching its climax. Only because of you.
Why? Why are you making us do such cruel things to each other?
What? Do you really hate me so much? But I am so cute!
Stop
Come on.
goofing around and begin the trial.
Don't rush me, of course I'm gonna start it! I would never be like, stay tuned for the action-packed class trial after this commercial break! I never hold out on you like that! Okay, let's begin! Get to your assigned seats!
And so the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith, a deadly class trial, a diddly-doddly-doodly. I had to do it, I'm sorry, I do it every chapter. So we're here. But then we're also here. There we go. I got a few new skills. Increases the time limit for each phase, effective during the class trial. Sounds good to me. Steadies your aim a little, effective during the non-stop debate and the Hangman's Gambit. Sounds good to me. I think that's all we have, right? Melodious voice, vocabulary. Yeah, that's all we have, but it's good enough. A deadly diddly doodly doddly. Just making sure they're equipped. Okay, let's go. A deadly poop.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results.
I can't remember if I auto this or not.
If you
I think
can
I do.
figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Now then, to begin with...
We already know who did it.
Was that?
it was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found him in that suit.
Don't try and deny it. You killed them.
I didn't! Someone knocked me out! I was asleep the whole time! I don't know anything about it!
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
Who are you calling a murderer?
I am sorry to say, Hiro, but we do have evidence. Blueprint for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it. And all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling. It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know. I don't know.
Is Hiro really the killer? Or, before anything else, we have to make that clear.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I don't know anything about that stuff. It's not true. It's a conspiracy.
Hiro, why? Why did you kill them?
No! Just hold on a second.
I mean, looking at the blueprints, oh, shitballs. Thank you, Naegi. Oh, God. Naegi voice, oh, shitballs. I mean, looking at the blueprints, that handwriting is awful messy. If I remember right, Hiro's handwriting is...
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts,
No!
all proof enough
God damn it!
that you are the culprit.
I know it's not true. It's a conspiracy. No! Just hold on a second.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough.
No, that's wrong. Are we sure Hiro really made those blueprints?
What do you mean?
Well, take a look at this. It's the note that Hiro wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared. The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say? When you compare it to the blueprints.
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Come on! I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
So, Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hiro's the culprit?
And he's not the only one. I think Hiro's innocent as well.
Then who was in that Robo-Justice suit? Is it like Hiro said? Was there really someone running around in a second suit?
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
And of course he passes it off to me.
So? Who was in the Robo-Justice suit?
The suspicious individual in question. The one that must have been in the suit. The Illuminati!
I got it! Other than Hiro, I can't think of anyone else it
Thank
could
you,
have been.
Naegi, thank you.
Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit, and we never found any kind of second suit.
Then there can be no doubt. Hiro is the prime suspect.
That doesn't make any sense. You just said Hiro didn't do it.
It makes perfect sense. Hiro was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice suit.
What? Now that's a bold assumption.
And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes?
Of course. But before we get to that, there's something else we need to clarify first. So let's get that out of the way.
Hey, stop trying to boss us around.
All things have a proper order.
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless
Lino,
body.
pick me!
It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular
Pick me,
items.
Togami-sensei!
Makoto, can you tell us what they were?
Things that were used to move Taka's body, they must have been... It was obviously the Monokuma file.
I got it!
There's still one more thing. Things that were used to move Taka's body. They must have been...
I got it!
Got it!
They were a dolly and a tarp, right?
What's with the attitude?
So, let's see if I can explain. Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room, and then we rediscovered it in the repository. And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right? It was the same tarp that, up until then, was stored in the equipment room.
I'd like to think that, like... It's a funny idea to think that Togami doesn't really know anything,
So his defense is always, tell them, Naegi. But he wants to look smart.
So the killer must have seen it there, and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body. That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there. But when the body disappeared, so did the dolly. Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository, so did the dolly.
just like Jon Snow. Is that what someone's gonna say?
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body, am I right? But are you sure you are not mistaken?
Huh?
Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room. Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
She's raised an objection. How do you
Hold it!
respond?
There is no shame in being wrong. Nobody expects much from you.
Take that!
We have all accepted the fact that you rarely understand what is going on around you.
Wow, I've never had anyone sound so nice while being so mean. But maybe I can change your mind. If I can just explain to them why the dolly must have been moved from the equipment room to the repository.
New elements been added to bullet time battles. Sure. Let's talk about reloading. Yes, let's. Starting with this next bullet time battle, we're gonna add one more ingredient. On the on the bottom of the screen underneath the tempo marker, you'll see your ammo count. Up until now, there hasn't really been a limit on how you destroy your... But from now on, just locking on and pressing the... blah, blah, blah. Now it will cost you 1 bullet to destroy a single remark. Once you run out of bullets, you can't destroy any more statements, no matter how locked on you are. However, you can reload by pressing the square button. You can also reload by tapping the bottom left... Okay, I can't do that. Just like locking on, you'll have to press the square button in time with the tempo marker. Or just... Yeah, okay, basically just... You'll automatically reload at the start of fever time, and your ammo will not decrease. Oh, but if your action difficulty is into... Okay, yeah.
You have it wrong! I cannot agree! You are a fool! So pathetic! Lies will get you nowhere! Do your worst! You miserable wretch! I cannot agree! You are a fool!
Oops, I forgot! Whoops!
Do your worst!
Ah!
Wrong! I cannot agree! You are a fool! So pathetic! Lies will get you nowhere! Do your worst!
I got it! Eventually!
I cannot agree!
This should prove it!
Whoops! I got too excited and I was like, reload, reload! Forgot I had to go with the tempo.
If you're asking for proof that the dolly moved, I have it right here. When I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it. There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it that matched the dolly wheel's tread. The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of the room.
I'm gonna need to practice reloading
And
later.
as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
Jeez, does Celeste really hate me that much?
Well, anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo-Justice didn't do it. Because if it's not a killer robot, then what kind of robot is it?
I'm not sure that really matters.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer. If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
If I look at how the body was moved, it'll be clear why the person in the suit couldn't have done it. What does he mean by that?
X square, X square, X square. Oh, I see. When you first start out, you don't really need to reload, right? I don't know. But I'll keep that in mind. That sounds like a good tempo to keep in mind. I just said keep that in mind twice. Robo-Justice costume.
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room. And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over. Then you could push the dolly no problem. So the killer just crouched down and carted the body off to the repository.
If you accept everything we just said, then you must realize that whoever was in the suit couldn't possibly be the culprit.
Sorry, I don't think I realize anything.
The dolly doesn't have any handles, so to push it, you'd have to be able to bend over. But would anyone wearing that suit have been able to actually stoop down like that?
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room, and from there, the body was moved to the repository.
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body and loaded it onto the dolly.
Now, keep in mind that the dolly...
Well, yeah, even without, all you'd have to do is bend over.
No, that's wrong.
Well, she doesn't know about Ishida, so Ishimaru and Yamada.
You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
What do you mean?
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together, remember?
I'm blind as a bat in here. Can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in this thing.
I'm telling you, it wasn't me!
And not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
There might be. I probably just don't have the skill yet.
When you can't even see your feet, you really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
There's absolutely no chance that the costume was taken off just to move the body, because...
I got it!
Derp derp.
I don't think taking off the suit was an option. If you remember...
I don't know what's up with this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help?
Why would you make something that you can't take off by yourself?
I didn't make the stupid friggin' thing!
There's a clasp on the back that's keeping you from getting it off. It looks pretty sturdy. I don't think you can get it off on your own. We don't really have a choice. Let's help him.
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Then, you really can't take it off by yourself? Hiro wasn't just making it up?
Of course I wasn't making it up.
If he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it. Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
Yeah, that's right!
So, it's really, really true that Robo-Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hiro in the robot suit, correct?
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took? You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo-Justice? If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that? Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said?
How did you get hurt?
That guy hit me.
What guy?
Robo-Justice. That's what I decided to call him just now.
So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question. The individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hiro, without a doubt.
Yeah, that's gotta be right.
Hold on a second!
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion. Besides, there's no hurry to decide who
Well,
did
if
it.
we get the skill from Leon, we're definitely too late.
Before we rush to a verdict, shouldn't we explore every single possibility? Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
What a pain in the ass!
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
All right then, let's take another look back at what happened. I suppose we could start with this morning. 4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up, so we went to look for everyone. That was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
Soon after that, Hina left in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant. I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out, it was Robo-Justice.
Wasn't his name in Japanese Justice Robo? Or something? I don't know. Maybe not. I just remember for some reason Justice Robo and now it's Robo-Justice. I don't know.
It also soon became clear that this same Robo-Justice had abducted Hifumi. We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library.
What's up, Nom?
He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect. But not long after leaving the nurse's office...
What's wrong?
I saw a shadow! Something moving around at the top of the stairs.
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the second floor. And soon after that...
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd
I thought
floor.
so.
and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I
I don't know
did.
why it occurred to me now, but everyone's going, Robo Justice, and I'm like, that sounds weird to me. I'm so used to hearing Justice Robo.
Celeste, what's wrong?
That was a rather intense scream from someone like you.
I saw him, the strange costume man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared.
And then,
Another flashback?
Yeah!
Huh?
What was that? That came from...
Oh, sorry, that was, what's his name?
That came from downstairs. It must have been...
Hifumi, he's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
at that point we decided to divide up into two groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office, while Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect. When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi, dead. And that's when we heard the body discovery announcement. I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the third floor to let the others know what had happened.
Meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment room. We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time, because we heard the same announcement not long after we discovered his body.
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi. Then the three of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us, and she told us something very surprising.
Hifumi's body has disappeared.
We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so we hurried back again.
This can't be happening. Are we hallucinating all this or something?
But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing. Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for two missing dead bodies. And after some time...
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository, which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
I think that about covers it.
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated. It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation. And from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them. Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
The contradictions hidden in what happened to Taka. In order to uncover the truth of this case, I have to find them no matter what.
So,
Oh, that's it? Okay.
regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last
What makes you say that?
because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
Justice Hammers were numbered, but were they really used in that order? Shoot, you know what? I think I have to create... They were both killed with a similar weapon. Yeah, that's definitely not our clue we want to use. So I gotta create one.
Regarding Taka's death, I wonder if
The way she said death was
perhaps
cute.
it was after.
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last
What makes you say that?
because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi
Was killed with just while
Taka's death.
came from a
See? So it's obvious Taka came after. So, I wonder if he died.
Perhaps it was
After? We already know what order they were killed in. Taka
So should
came
I-
last
What makes you say that?
because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer.
Three. While Taka's death came from
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
so.
Regarding Taka,
I wonder
if he died.
perhaps it was
After? We already know what order they were killed in.
Boom!
No, that's wrong. Hold on. There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their
I
numbers.
did just say I should save, so I'm gonna save really quick.
If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi?
You should hear one of the songs that's used in Dangan Ronpa Another Episode, which we won't discuss. We won't discuss who's in it or anything, guys, because that will be spoilers. All I will say is the main theme song of Dangan Ronpa Another Episode, which you're going to get to hear when I play it, is really, really catchy. I love it a lot.
Okay then, let's see the proof.
Evidence that proves Taka was killed before Hifumi. There's something that relates to what time he must have died. His watch? Is it gonna be like wristwatch or watch? Wristwatch, I think. Yep, it's gonna be wristwatch. Give me a C! C! Give me an H! What's that spell? Wristwatch.
Now I understand.
What's that spell? That's what it spells.
I've got it. Taka's wristwatch.
Welcome back, May!
See? Look. It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer. Because as of last night,
Hey, you! How long were you gonna keep us waiting? Taka's irritated voice pierced the air as he stared pointedly at his wristwatch. It's almost 10 o'clock, you know that? Bedtime for all the little boys and girls.
so if it wasn't broken after 6 last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this morning.
And that would be his official time of death.
Yeah, I agree. Hangman's Gambit gets crazy in the second game.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning.
Same here, Nom.
Which happened around 7.
Same here.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all
Oh,
of
nice,
us.
May.
We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those justice hammers.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window, because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder.
Yeah, I can vouch for that. Even on the easiest mode, you bound up to miss some. Yeah, definitely. I missed, especially towards the end of the second game. Oh my god. Oh my, I started to do so terrible.
But all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe.
Oh yeah, Huh? What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been... Hifumi, he's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Except for Hiro and Kyoko. Then we all ran down to the nurse's office, and that's where we found his body.
That's totally true. We're all in the clear.
Aww. Aww.
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
If that's true, where's the tape?
And by that, you mean Can't Touch This, right? So I think that's the actual name of the song. Aww.
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff up.
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream. Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared. When his body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct? And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment
Taka's
room.
body.
At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing.
Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then!
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body. Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway.
In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies. On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
So what now, Kyoko?
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles. So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how. In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
The art supplies went missing in Chapter 3.
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing. And according to what Celeste said,
we could not have been gone for more than a minute or two, though. So then the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time? It would seem so.
his body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the third in that short amount of time?
Oh man, yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible
You
possible?
guys.
What? How? If the dead body were to move itself.
The dead body moved on its own?
No! Not another... ghost!
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is... we thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
He was... alive?
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
That it isn't possible.
The idea that Hifumi was still alive. Is it really possible? Show, you're killing me. Broken wristwatch.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi
Might
in
have
the
to make a
nurse's
bullet for this
office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No. It is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
I don't know why I copied that, I just did last minute. I'm sure the body discovery announcement was only made once, but Hifumi and Taka's bodies were discovered at almost exactly the same time.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
Oops, wrong one!